So how you doing? Good. All right. My name is Mr. Jimmy Culbreth, right? I'm a former special agent. I have 21 years of law enforcement experience working homicides, suicides, drug investigations, counterfeit money, sexual assaults, all right? What do you guys think about what you saw downstairs? Would any of you want to be in that situation? No. No one want to be in that situation, right? But see, that's why you're here. You're here because I don't want to see you in that situation. I don't want to see any one of you in a situation like you saw downstairs. That's tough. That's really tough, right? So, by a show of hands, how many of you have an idea of what you want to do when you grow up? Okay? Give me about 2 or 3. What you want to do? You want to box? Okay. You want to box as well? Basketball. Okay. Yeah. Plumbing? Rapper. Who else? Graphic design? All right, cool. All right. Now, let me ask you this. Out of all the things you told me that you wanted to do, right? You said motivational speaker, right? Out of all the things you said you wanted to do, tell me, what's it going to take for you to reach that goal? Graphic designs, right? Public speaker, boxers, basketball players. What's it going to take for you to reach that goal? Education. The first thing you need to focus on right now is education. But it all goes back to choices, right? The choices that you make. Because believe it or not, our life is a direct reflection of the choices we make right now. So think about it. Wherever you are right now, whatever situation you're in right now, it's because of the choices that you've already made. And that's for everyone. Any choice that you make is a direct reflection of what you made in the past. So let me tell you about myself. So when I was 18 years old, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea. And what's your name? Emmanuel? Emmanuel. So Emmanuel, when I was 18, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was 18, I had no clue of what goal I wanted to achieve. But by chance, an individual came in when I was working out in the gym. I know I want to play football. So a guy came in, he was kind of a big guy. And we worked out together and I said, hey, what do you do? He said, well, I work for the GBI. And I'm like, what's a GBI? He said, well, I work for the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. I'm a special agent. So as I began to look at him, I was like, wow, man, that's interesting. So as we began to talk more and more, I realized at 18 years old, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a special agent. And I wasn't gonna let nothing stop me. So I decided to go to college. So I attended Georgia Southern University, same university my son went to. I attended Georgia Southern, but the problem was, man, I wasn't ready because I wasn't disciplined, right? And you know why I wasn't disciplined? Who's in the 8th grade? In the 8th graders? 9th graders. 8th grade, 9th grade, 9th graders? 9th grade? I didn't do what I was supposed to do in the 8th and 9th grade. See, this is kind of where it starts. You have to make sure that you're taking the proper courses so you can prepare when you become a senior in high school, right? I didn't do that. The choices I made choices to be a mediocre student, right? An average student, in other words. Because I had to take, instead of taking the advanced math or advanced English and writing, I took the general, which put me behind. So when I got to Georgia Southern, I struggled. Now, I'm not saying I couldn't read or write. Yes, I could read and write and all that. But the problem was I didn't take the advanced courses to prepare me to transition from high school to college. So, see, a lot of time, guys, it's the small choices. We know about the big choices, right? So what you heard downstairs, making the wrong choices, drugs, gangs, fighting, all that. We know those are wrong choices. But what about the small choices that we need to make? Like taking that advanced math, reading, writing, doing what we need to do so we can advance and go to the next level. Because All of you have a goal that you want to reach. All of you said, I want to do something. I want to be a boxer. I want to be a basketball player, right? I want to do all these things, but you have to make the small choices that's going to take you where you need to be. So, although I got to Georgia Southern and I failed a lot because I didn't have the proper, I guess, unction to do what I was supposed to do, I said, look, I can't do this anymore. So I had to go to the military. I said, I got to go to the military because I got to get some discipline. So I decided to join the military. So I served 12 years in the United States Air Force. 12 years. I gained a discipline. I earned a bachelor's degree in criminal justice with an emphasis in law enforcement. I got out of the military. Well, actually, I became a special agent. Then I got out of the military, began to work for the federal government, and retired as a special agent. Now I'm a motivational speaker. God, I'm no different than you. I used to be in the same boat you guys were in, same seats you guys were in. I was young just like you. Now, don't do what I did though. Make the right choices now at a young age so that when you get ready to go to college or whatever you decide to do, if you decide to go to the military or trade school, somebody said they wanted to, did you switch to a plumber? Trade school. You don't have to go to college. You can go to the military. You can learn a trade. But whatever you decide to do, make sure you give it your all and do the things you need to do so that you can become what you want to be, right? You have to make those proper choices. And I didn't do that at first. Now, I struggled a bit, but I made it through. And here I am before you now. Special agent, retired special agent. I got a master's degree. And I continue to move forward. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm no special person. And so as a special agent, I saw a lot of things. It wasn't all glamour. Now, I know you're on television, you guys see, what name some shows y'all see on television? Law and Order, I see Law and Order. First 48, what else? Any other shows? James Bond? See, that's all. Now, First 48 is good. That's a good one. But the other shows, that's all glamour because I didn't see a lot of that, right? What I saw is a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, and a lot of tragedy. I can't begin to tell you the amount of hurt in the eyes of parents who lost their child to gun violence, to prison, even suicide, right? Guys, it's all up to you. The choices you make today reflect who you are in the future, right? You have to make the right choices today. Because when it comes to choices, there's a series of them, right? There's good. What's the opposite of good? Bad, right? Good and what? Right? There's a right choice and there's also a what? Wrong choice. And when it comes to peer pressure, there's yes and there's what? No, right? So we have to make those right choices. So today, I want to talk to you about some things that I believe will help you to have a bigger and brighter future so that you can make those choices and move on in life, okay? All right, let's go. First slide. All right, communication, conflict resolution, which is fighting, and peer pressure. That's what we're going to talk about today, all right? Next slide. All right, communication. Now, this you don't have to tell me the truth, but I know most of you do. Matter of fact, I think I heard one of you. How many of you use profanity? Yeah, to be honest. Okay, got it, okay. All right, develop your communication skills, right? Because when you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. You want to be able to communicate and talk to people professionally. Now, I know y'all sit on television, Kevin Hart. Look, I know it's funny. It's funny, and it is funny. But when you're in front of people and you're talking, you go to college and you have to stand in front of a crowd and speak, you want to be professional. You want to make sure that you're speaking with clarity and you're pronouncing your words correctly, right? All right? So how you speak is an indicator of your aptitude, right? And what is aptitude? It refers to the ability to learn and acquire skills. The ability to learn and acquire skills. Verbal aptitude specifically relates to language skills, your verbal aptitude. And specifically, relates to your language skills. So anyone who excels in speaking and writing, right? That means you have a good verbal aptitude. This is why I tell you, start now, 9th grade, continue to move forward. Continue to move forward so you can learn how to speak well, how to write well. Now, negative communication, like I said, profanity, right? That's the lowest form of communication. That's the lowest form of communication, profanity. And then you guys know that. So if you do it, I know you do it, then stop. Because it is the lowest form of communication, right? Corrupt communication, what it does, it shouldn't come out of your mouth because it corrupts what? It corrupts good manners. And a lot of times, you know, when you hang around the people you hang around with, sometimes you guys do it because other people are doing it. And I get it. Been there, done that, right? But let's pull away from negative communication. Next slide. All right, conflict resolution, fighting. How many of you have been in a fight? Raise your hand, come on, raise your hand, be honest. Been in a fight, all right? How many of you could have avoided that fight? How many of you could have avoided that fight, right? Gotcha, okay. So we have to learn how to avoid fighting, right? Look at this, look at the stats here. Youth violence is common, right? It's common. Homicides, right, is the 3rd leading cause of death for young people ages 10 to 24. The 3rd leading cause of death for young people ages 10 to 24. The 3rd, right? What's the leading? The leading cause of death for non-Hispanic, Black, or African-American youth. It's the leading cause. The leading cause, right? So we have to do better, right? And young adults. So it doesn't matter whether you Black or white, young adults, period. Crime happens when we make wrong choices. Things happen when we make wrong choices. We have to begin to make the right choices, because if we don't, you see what happened downstairs? You saw what was downstairs, right? And you told me you don't want to be in that situation. So if you don't want to be in that situation, you got to make the right choices, because guys, you have greatness inside of you. I can look at all of you now and tell you that I was where you were, and if I can make it, you can make it, and I see the greatness inside of you. You can do it, right? Anger. A strong feeling or annoyance, displeasure, or hostility, right? Because you're gonna get angry. We're human, right? You're gonna get mad, you're gonna get upset. I've gotten upset before, right? But we have to learn to control that anger. Control it. Anger, one of my favorite motivational speakers' name is Les Brown. He says, anger is the wind that blows out the lamp of the mind. See, your mind is a lamp. You think, you make good decisions, right? But when that lamp is going out, what happens? Now, you can't really think anymore. Now it's dark. Now you're ready to hurt somebody, right? So let's have some self-control and not get into a situation where we're going to be fighting. Everybody understand that? Everybody understand that? Repeat after me. Business. Come on. Give me some energy, guys. Business. Give me some energy, guys. Business. Give me some energy, guys. Business. Before pleasure. Business before pleasure. If you do business before pleasure, guys, you can accomplish anything. If you switch it around, you'll never have anything. Good choices come from having business before pleasure. Next slide. All right, here's a big one, peer pressure. Peer pressure, I believe, is the number one thing that takes our young men out, because we want to be a part of a group, hang with other people that may be doing some things that are bad, that are not good. So we have to make sure that we make the right choice and learn how to say no. If you know someone is doing something wrong, learn how to say no. Don't go along with it. You know, I heard a story of a guy. He was walking with his friend, and 2 guys came up and said, hey, we're gonna go rob a store. And he was like, no, I don't wanna go. But they talked him into it. Yeah, okay, he went. They went to rob the store, and he was just a driver. They said, all you gotta do is just drive the car. He drove the car, got there, they got out, go rob the store. The owner came out shooting wildly and shot the driver in the head. All because of what? The wrong choice. Now, what if he would just say, no, I don't want to do that. I need to go home, do my homework, whatever. But he didn't. So he's a statistic like you saw downstairs, right? We have to make sure that you make the right choice. Peer pressure refers to the feeling or act of being influenced by others, especially friends, classmates, or co-workers, to adopt behaviors, attitudes, or actions that align with a particular group's norm. So another group is doing something wrong, and you know they're doing something wrong, you don't need to go with them. So if things are going wrong, just don't go with it. Don't go with them if you know they're going wrong. Types of peer pressure. We have direct peer pressure, indirect peer pressure, and unspoken. Direct peer pressure, someone's telling you, hey, you need to wear this, you need to do this. I want you to act this way, right? That's direct peer pressure. Indirect peer pressure, no one's really telling you to do it. You may go to a party or go somewhere, and who knows, your friends may be drinking or smoking or whatever, and although they're not telling you to do it, but you want to be a part of that group, and you do it anyway, even though no one told you to do it. You understand that? You understand that? Unspoken comes from unspoken expectations. So a group is doing a certain thing, again, no one telling you to do it, but you want to feel a part of that group. This is why you get involved into doing it, right? Don't let anyone persuade you to do something that you know is wrong, right? Next slide. All right. Now there is a good peer pressure and there's bad peer pressure. We got peer pressure, positive peer pressure, negative peer pressure, right? So positive peer pressure, all right, for those, because I was a coach, for those athletes, raise your hand. Raise your hand for those who are athletes. Raise them high so I can see. I'm strictly on the boxing, right? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Any sport, raise your hand. All right. Any sport, raise your hand. All right. The reason why I'm on you guys because I coached. So when someone says, when one of your homeboys says, hey, look, man, let's focus on going to college. Let's work out together, right? Let's study for this test because I know that the University of Miami may give me a call this year because I want to get a D1 scholarship, or the University of Kentucky may give me a call, or Florida State, or whoever, right? That's good, positive, right, influences because they're telling you something that, hey, this is gonna come out to a positive outcome, right? That's a positive outcome. What you don't want is a negative outcome. The negative peer pressure. Hey, let's go smoking. Let's go drinking. Doing something crazy, like skipping school, or doing something like risky behavior. Having sex, right? Because when you have sex, what can happen? You can get someone pregnant, right? You get someone pregnant. And once you get someone pregnant, that child, you have to take to that child for the rest of your entire life. I understand that. I talk to you like this now because you're old enough to know. I understand what I'm saying? All right? Mental health issues. The stress of peer pressure can also take a toll on your mental well-being. Sometimes when we go through things and people trying to pressure us to do stuff, it weighs on us because we know that that's not the type of person I am or what you want to do. And so it begins to weigh on you, and people, they lose hope because there's no one to talk to. So what you have to do is establish a peer group where you can find someone that will help you, right? You have adults that can help you, right? Your teachers, your counselors, someone that can be there for you to help you to make those right choices. And if someone is telling you to do something that you don't like, right? What you can do, you can play it off. Hey man, let's go smoke some weed or whatever, right? You can say, hey, look, man, I'm already crazy, so I can't do that. Just kind of play it off, whatever you need to do. Get around positive friends that's gonna help you make right choices. Because in a group of positive friends, a negative friend can't stand. He can't take over if you're in a positive group, right? But understand that. All right, next slide. All right, wrong choices, tough consequences. Wrong choices, tough consequences. So I'm not gonna tell you the whole story, but I'm gonna tell you a guy named John Honore. He's from Louisiana. 18 years old, right? 18 years old, he made some wrong choices. Not only did he make wrong choices, but his friends make wrong choices, right? So what I want to do now, I want you to click on that and play that video. Hopefully,
teenagers are official.
Martin Luther King says, it's always the right time to do what's right. So guys, I need for you to make sure you listen to what I'm saying. Because once you leave here, I'm not going to be with you, right? I can't follow you around. If I could, I would. I would do a surveillance and watch every last one of you. But I can't do that. I need for you to leave here making the right choices. And when you're home, I need you to be obedient to your parents, to make sure that what your parents are telling you, because they're trying to tell you what's right, because they're trying to keep you from getting into issues that you can't get out of. They can't get out of that. They can't get out of that. That's life in prison. That's 25, he got life in prison. Other ones got 20 years in prison. They can't get out of that. 17, 15, 16 years old. They were your age and they killed a woman because they wanted to have a car. They just wanted to joyride in a car. How many of you have grandmothers in here? How many have grandmothers? Raise your hand high. I want to see how many of you have grandmothers. What if that happened to your grandmother? What if another 17-year-old spray painted your grandmother in the face, beat her, punched her, her arms get caught in the car, and they drag her for 2 football fields, and her arm comes off? Guys, make the right choices. If you know individuals are doing things that you know that's not right, don't do it. But it all starts at home. You have to make the right choices at home. Being disciplined. I don't mind you playing video games and all that stuff, but you have to be disciplined enough to know that, hey, business comes before pleasure. Let me take care of what I need to take care of first before I play video games. Doing my chores. All this builds up because you're becoming a man. You realize that? Do you all realize that, right? Every day you wake up, you are becoming a man. Every day you wake up, you are becoming a man. Who's the youngest in here? 12? I mean 12. 12. Who's the oldest? 18. You're going to become 18 years old, right? 18-year-old. You're going to become 52. You're becoming a man. Each day you wake up. So in between the time from right now to as you get older, man, make the right choices. Make the right decisions. Obey your parents. Do what you're supposed to do. Stay out of trouble. Get some discipline. Like I said, I went to the military and I got discipline, but you can also establish it at home. Get with the right friends. Right, Julian? Right friends. Doing what you're supposed to do. Right? Staying focused, right? I know, Julian. All right? Any questions for me? No questions.